Hi, everyone, and welcome to episode number 60 of the Infinity and Beyond podcast presented by DisKingdom.com. I'm Roger here in the United Kingdom, and we have Abe there in sunny California.
What's up, everybody?
Okay, so here we are, episode number 60, and on this week's show, we are going to be discussing the Toy Box Takeover in a little bit of detail. We're also going to be going through this week's news, which includes some new accessories, the retailer exclusives, and we're also going to talk a little bit of Skylanders while we're here. So, Abe, let's jump into this busy news week. So, did you see the new accessory that there's the new people, Power A, have sort of announced?
Yeah, interesting. That's all I gotta say. It's a big ball. Like they're calling it a globe, display globe.
Yes.
I call it Bubble Boy.
Bubble Boy.
Honestly, I think all I can think, is it just me or are the accessories getting worse? I don't know. That's just me. They're like ornaments. This is if you want to hang your Infinity figures on your Christmas trees this year, please buy the display orbs. I don't know. That's all I got.
Yeah, I mean, it's kind of a bit like the square boxes that we had before, but so it's an official license one. They're on Amazon UK at the minute for £15.91. That is, I think that's going to be a placeholder price, because I think it'll be a lot cheaper than that. Like someone said, if you tried to put all 100 or so of your figures in them, it's going to cost you £1,000 to do that. Yeah, I really just don't. I must admit, my first reaction is I don't quite get what's going on with these accessories. It seems like they've really just gone purely for the kids market.
I feel like I want to put water in it and maybe some like white confetti and create my own snow globe. That's what I think about it.
Alternative, eventually, when we maybe get a Finding Dory playset, you can put like Dory and Nemo in it, and it will look alright. Yeah. I'm gonna be honest. It's not aimed at us, and I think that's the prime. I mean, I know it's supposed to be set for maybe collectors, but it just looks a bit. It's not even stackable. Like you said, it looks like a Christmas ornament. You might put a figure in it and put it under the Christmas tree. I'm still not entirely too sure on this. I mean, this adds on to that carry case and this other Star Wars thing. Very, very different approach again this year. Power A obviously going in a very different direction. It is aimed at kids. I think I think the main thing everyone's after, from the sort of generally specifically like with like the adults, and is just something to put the power discs in, a folder or an album. That's pretty much what I'd say 90% of people are wanting. And at the minute, we're getting some rather odd looking kind of bits and pieces.
Totally agree. Just do not like what we have so far.
Yeah.
These are just all three of these accessories are just announced in the UK so far, right?
I think they've been announced in Australia as well. So there's been no US announcement on any of these accessories or anything yet. I think it's been officially released. This is just what's coming through on different retailers, kind of putting it out there. This is down as a release for November. So like the other ones, it's just like I said, it's little bits are coming out. There's been no like big announcement of these accessories, but again, accessories 3.0 feel like a bit of an afterthought once again, rather than, because they're not even out for launch. But it's interesting to see what else we'll get on them.
Yep.
But yeah, so I'm not going to be. I don't know. I think definitely for adult audience, I think that price is a bit wrong. I think if it was like £6-7, you might be a little bit more. I think it's basically going to be half that. I think before some people might even start looking at them. It just seems very expensive.
I mean, you used to spend $10 and you would get 3 in a box of the other display. So I don't know.
Yeah, no, I do think the price point was wrong on that. Also this week, yesterday, all the figures in the US are no longer under the exclusive sort of deal that was things. You're going to be able to get all those figures at all the different stores. So there's no longer like Amazon have got Fear and Mulan. I've got like Best Buy with Mulan. They're all going to be out in all the different stores. So if you haven't picked one of those characters up, you should be able to do that this week in the US. I was thinking actually when this originally was announced that in some ways by doing that, it took away a little bit of the shelf space in each of the stores, because suddenly you had like 6 figures less to display. Rather, because I know I was in the store the other day and looking at all the nice new figures, it's like, well, I thought, well, actually, if you took away a third of them for the first few weeks, it would have allowed everything a little bit more space to sort of spread out. And now they've got a lot of competition.
Target kind of has been breaking the street date anyway, so people have been able to pick up the exclusives at Target. So, but I'm glad they're all available everywhere, because I think, you know, retail exclusives are a nightmare. But
yeah, I am really glad we didn't have to worry about that over here, where, you know, every store just sold everything. I can kind of understand it. I think we're going to see a similar thing with the new lightsaber FX figures. I think we're probably going to see retailer exclusives or timed exclusives, because that's the way sort of Disney seems to work, is timed. So it kind of makes sense in some ways. But yeah, now you guys can kind of just go out there and get them all. It'll be a lot easier for everybody. I think the idea of running around all those different stores and stuff, yeah, that would be a nightmare. I'm glad that, because I know they've done that in the past with Skylanders and stuff, but yeah, I'm kind of glad that we don't really, I definitely don't have that issue. And now you guys don't have that issue anymore.
Well, I never had the issue, so I'm fine.
No, but also there's been a few bits and pieces around because of the Toy Box Takeover game expansion disc, because it was a pre-order bonus. If you pre-ordered the game, you got it for free. But different stores basically have been giving different dates on when it's supposed to be coming out. Some stores have been selling it, some stores won't. There's been dates for October thrown around. It's kind of one of those things. There's not been a lot of. It's a very muddy mess at the minute with that release date for that Toy Box Takeover.
Yeah, it's been interesting. I mean, I think like the majority of my stores were selling it. I mean, they had it on the shelf, so. But yeah, it is a mess. Hopefully they'll get that cleared up. So.
Yeah, well, I kind of remember it was a little bit like that last year with those Toy Box expansion games. They kind of said it would be coming, but they took months before they actually announced when they would be coming. So it's because they still haven't officially announced the Speedway release date either yet, have they?
No, but I think GameStop was showing at the end of I think they were releasing when
middle of October, isn't it?
Yeah, I was thinking Hulkbuster whenever he was coming out.
I think the UK released it was like 2 weeks before that. The dates are all a bit
fudgy. Yeah, I have no idea. It's all weird.
Yeah, there's been no kind of official confirmation yet of those dates. But we're just going to quickly just go through. Next week we have got the release of the Rise of the Empire playset, and you've also got Darth Vader, Chewbacca, and also Han Solo there, and also you're going to have the Rise of the Empire Power Disc pack. So they're going to be out on the 28th in the US. UK is slightly later. It's on the 2nd of October, and also we are going to be getting the Tomorrowland Power Discs as well. We, for some reason, have them a few weeks later. So they're all going to be out in a couple of weeks' time. And I also had slight little rumor that Toys R Us in the UK might even have Darth Vader out now as a timed early in-store exclusive. It's not online. So I might even just pop around Toys R Us later in the week and see if I can see it there. So that should be a little bit interesting. But yeah, there's all these different release dates, because at the minute we know we've got the all the Rise stuff at the end of the month. Then October, rumored to be the 2 expansion packs. And then November, we're then going to have Ultron, Hulk, and Spot, and Darth Maul. And then we're into next year for Zootopia figures, Marvel Battlegrounds. Oh, and we've also got the Force Awakens stuff in December as well. So very nicely spread out for the stuff we know about so far.
Yeah, no, definitely. Yeah, I'm glad that there's a lot of spacing out there. So
yeah, I must admit, it's one of those things I found with like Infinity this year. It feels quite nice feeling like, you know, we're still a month after launch and we've still got play sets to come. We've still got an expansion game to come. They've announced some of the figures, but I'm still feeling like we've got lots of stuff that we don't yet know about. I just get this feeling of that I don't know if we're going to be seeing a little bit more, or if that will what with Force Awakens or Marvel Battlegrounds, if that is it for 3.0 before we get 4.0 next year. But it depends if they're going to do this longer lifespan or not.
I think Nick Wilde and Judy Hopps is the last of the Disney original side. That's what I'm thinking.
I'm still I'm on the fence of whether or not we're going to get
aside from Peter Pan. I forgot about that.
Yeah, Peter Pan's coming at some point as well. At the end, it just feels, I don't know. I'm really torn because it's like, are they going to go with a platform route like the way Lego Dimensions is going? But then I'm looking at like Lego Dimensions, and they've pretty much announced all their packs and stuff right through till the end of May, and they're saying all of their future content is forward compatible because of downloadable content with that portal, and they're going down. They don't seem to be doing the starter pack different routes, and I don't know if 3.0 is at that position yet.
Mm-hmm.
No, but it's kind of interesting with Lego Dimensions. They come straight out and they've got all the packaging for all the stuff on the box, and you've got stuff coming out as of late nearly May, and they even put out a tweet this week saying you will only need one portal because everything is internet. They're being very upfront and saying you need an internet connection required, and Disney have been kind of floating around on this issue quite a bit, haven't they?
Well, yeah, I mean, like I said, they before in our podcast that they figure out a way to get you to get your most recent content even without internet connections. So I wonder how that's going to work out. But no, I mean, it's everybody has a different approach. I mean, hopefully Dimensions sets like a new trend for everybody. But I honestly don't.
Not the starter pack price. That's the one trend I don't want.
No. I mean, you know what I meant.
Yeah.
The whole the platform thing. I mean, that's what Disney has been saying they've been wanting to do from the get go. So hopefully, it'll finally come through. But first of all, Dimensions is expensive because it's Lego. Skylanders is expensive because they have like 8 different variants of every freaking figure and and vehicle, and so yeah, it's just I agree with you there as far as like price goes, but I don't know, as long as Disney doesn't keep shelling out variants, I'll be happy. But you've heard rumors of them possibly remolding 1.0 characters, and that I would not be happy with that.
No. Since we just brought up the Skylanders, I want to bring up a tweet that Jason from over at Skylanders Inquirer, this is his haul from Sunday from when he went out.
Oh my goodness.
Right, so this is what he went out and brought. Now, you might be thinking, well, why has he got all those different starter packs? Well, let me just explain this for people, and for anybody that says about Disney Infinity starter packs and having to buy an extra starter pack because you get that extra base. Welcome to Skylanders. Right, so let me just go through this. In the Xbox One version, you've got the full normal set. So you've got the 3 figures.
Normal, yep.
Yeah. In the Wii U version, you've got Donkey Kong and that switches over to an amiibo. And the amiibo only work on the Nintendo console.
And his vehicle is also catered to him.
Yes, right. Okay, so there's also this Xbox One version, which includes a special chase variant golden vehicle. So that's right. They've actually put a chase variant inside of the starter pack, which obviously then made Jason buy another starter pack that he didn't need.
Just for the listeners, I'm shaking my head just so you guys have a visual.
Right, you then have the Nintendo 3DS starter pack, which includes a Bowser amiibo crossover. Okay, so there's
the vehicle as well.
Yeah, the vehicle that's different. Right, you then have the Dark starter pack for the Xbox One and 360, which includes the 3 figures that are in the starter pack and that are dark versions plus additional dark versions of certain figures. You then have the dark version of the Wii or the 3DS version, which includes the dark version of Bowser and his vehicle. You then also get the dark version of the Wii U console, which includes the dark version of Donkey Kong, right, and his vehicle. So at this point, in order to get all the figures at launch, Jason had to buy 7 starter packs.
Jeez.
This is just insane, isn't it?
It's ridiculous. And if you look on top too, if you notice, there's also a Target exclusive variant up there with one of the helicopter vehicles. It's like there's still more variants regardless, and that's I mean, but starter packs alone, that's 7 different starter packs.
Yeah.
Wow.
Yeah, it just seems insane. It just seems. I mean, this is the thing of like Disney Infinity went from having 2 last year, and they went, no, it was too complicated. We're just going to do 1 starter pack and the download. I mean, also you can also do the digital download for Skylanders if you've got the base, but it just looks insane. It's. I mean, if anyone ever complains about a starter pack for Disney Infinity, I'm just this is what we should be worried
about.
This
is the picture we should just post up, yeah.
Yeah. This is the one saying, this is fine. We have not got a problem. If we've got one problem with one single variant figure, welcome, go collect Skylanders.
Oh my goodness, that's yeah. I don't even know why this picture's still up. Get it down before I like, vomit or something. That's a lot.
It is.
I wonder how many jobs Jason has. Jason, if you're listening, how many jobs do you have? Wow.
He doesn't sleep. That's the difference. And he's just got. Yeah, I was just gonna say, just so we can see. I think he did have a slightly clearer image of that chaser.
It's a Super Strike vehicle. Yeah.
So there you can see. Just make that out there. That is a hot streak variant.
You know, it's funny that hot streak already has like 4 different variants, so it's kind of funny. But
yeah, it's just like I can't, it's like this is the thing. I think Disney Infinity have had like they had a month head start, didn't they? They managed to get in the end of August. Like this week we've got Skylanders Superchargers, and next week we've got Lego Dimensions. So Disney Infinity's head start is over. The stores are all going to be filling by end of next week. Half the Toys R Us now is going to be Games to Life with all these different figures and packs and variants. It's like I said, they're all catching up, and there's going to be there's a lot of competition out there for this holiday season there.
Yeah, I still feel good with DI though, because I mean you still have Force Awakens coming out, and that's going to be popular. And then you still have Marvel coming out. I mean you have popular figures like Hulkbuster coming out, and I mean we still even know what kind of figures we're gonna get from Marvel. So it's like it's gonna be awesome. Everybody, it's definitely a good category to be in right now. If you're Lego, if you're Skylanders, if you're Disney Infinity, and I don't know whatever Amiibo does, but if you're that too, it's good to be in the industry, because people are loving it. People are loving these things.
And I think also the thing is, the competition is driving sort of better games and stuff. I've dabbled with Swap Force and also Trap Team. This year I did decide, I made the mistake last year of getting Trap Team at launch. And it was only like a couple of weeks. It was about 2-3 weeks after Infinity. And I remember just going, and every time I was playing it, I really want to be playing Infinity. And I it was that thing of having 2 games at the same time and not actually really wanting to play the other one because I was enjoying Infinity. And in the end, Trap Team, I ended up getting rid of it because it just was like, I haven't got time to play it. Whereas with Swap Force, I waited like 6 months until it was a bit cheaper, but also I'd kind of the newness of Infinity had worn off. And I'm gonna be honest, I think I've kind of got this feeling with the competition, Skylanders and Lego Dimensions. In 6 months' time, I could quite easily see myself picking up one of these starter packs on sale just to play through the main storylines, because I think the games are probably good, but literally having all 3 of them at once, I just know I haven't got time to play them all.
I wonder if Lego Dimensions will ever be "quote unquote" on sale, because it is Lego bricks included. That's gonna be expensive.
It depends on the sale. I mean, I know we keep going on about the price, but I know specifically here in the UK, they're between £90 to £100 for a starter pack, which I think works out about $150, $160. So literally, you could go into the store today and buy Skylanders Superchargers and Infinity, and probably even a figure for the same price of the Lego Dimensions starter pack.
Yeah,
that is what is quite crazy with me. I'm thinking it's like Lego Dimensions. I do want to play it, but at the same time, I'm looking at it and going, that's if it was £45 or £50 like Superchargers, I'd be inclined to kind of take a punt on it. But Lego Dimensions at £100, it's like this is seriously kind of. And I'm not being, but I don't mind, the bases and stuff to put the figures down, but I don't really want to be trying to have to. I'm not entirely sure if I can convince everyone. Whenever I finish playing, I have to put the base away. I'm just imagining this great big like Lego set and just bits falling all over the floor as I keep putting it in and out the box. And
yeah.
it's
No, yeah, Disney Infinity is definitely my choice. So, yeah, it's easier, just one little thing, put it in the drawer, you're set, you're good to go.
No, it's cool. It's just, I think it's one of those things that the competition's out there, and we're going to be looking in a little bit more in depth into these in a few weeks' time. But now let's move on to our feature subject of the week, which is Toy Box Takeover. Okay, so in this bit here, we're now going to be talking about Toy Box Takeover in a little bit of depth, giving our initial thoughts on it. So, Abe, what do you think of Toy Box Takeover this year?
You know what? I think it was very underrated at first. It wasn't really advertised as much. But when you got to play it, I honestly enjoyed it. I loved it. It was, I enjoyed playing Escape of the Killing or the, I don't even know what the Forest Siege or whatever. Yeah. I enjoyed those, but man, this one was leaps beyond good as far as the experience goes. It's just a lot of fun. I mean, you get to experience the different levels, themed to different properties. You had chests to collect. I mean, you had like obstacles to avoid. You had different villains. It was cool. I enjoyed it. I definitely enjoyed also the Hero Destroyer platform. I love how you also you had unlockables by doing the whole thing. Sidekicks and set pieces and whatnot. Then you had different levels of difficulty. I mean, that also just added replay value to it. And no, I overall enjoyed it. I mean, obviously I started out negative with it because I went multiplayer, but that honestly had nothing to do with the fact that it's really good content. I do love the way the sidekicks played in this game. Definitely, again, leaps and bounds better than 2.0 as far as the sidekicks. The sidekicks were very glitchy in 2.0, and they would disappear or just mysteriously die. But here it's great. I love right now the fact that every level that I play, I'm still unlocking new hats, new items for my sidekicks to use. And each sidekick is just awesome. I mean, you can level each and every one of them that you have and have them wear different hats and have them do different things. But overall, Toy Box Takeover was great. Definitely a great expansion game. I hope they give us something more, either similar or even better next time around. But I was afraid that this was going to be left behind because of Speedway. And no, this is awesome. I actually find myself playing it randomly from time to time, so it's really good.
Yeah, I mean, I think from my point of view, it's kind of it was one of the things that launched that kind of got left behind. The place that's kind of grabbed attention. Same thing happened last year. So, like you said, there's a lot to do because you've got the different worlds. I love the fact how they've integrated all the different brands together. You've got a Marvel level, a Star Wars level, a Tron level, whatever, and you've got a few different. There's not a huge amount of cutscenes, to be honest. I'm just trying to think. There was only like one at the beginning, and that was about it.
It's not that much, yeah.
No, and it's just I love the fact of them integrating everything into one story, into one like. And I just sat there and going, this is what they need to do more of, because this is where there's been one of the kind of continuous complaints about the fact that people wanting to play everything in every single sort of play every kind of character in one unique story. And this takeover felt like that kind of for the very first time, where you had the chance of integrating all the different brands and franchises all into one long adventure, one story. And you can use all your 1.0, your 2.0s. It just felt like this is where Infinity could really, it's kind of that break the rules kind of thing where you have thrown everything into one, and I think it's cool. I think this is something that they should really, I think they should actually focus on a little bit more than they have done, because I think this is where the game could really stand out.
No, yeah, I think it was definitely a fair compromise for, you know, the fact is, like, with play sets, you know, they really don't want to break the whole story and where each character belongs in their IP for the Disney side, at least. But I think it's a really awesome compromise. In fact, I think it's great. I almost if it wasn't for that we're being separate levels and it wasn't just no, actually, I honestly think it felt like a playset, to be honest with you. Because I mean, if you think about it, it's kind of like Inside Out, where you know you have a main hub that you go to, then you just join up the level you want to play, and it's like, yeah, it's kind of similar. So I mean,
Yeah.
no, it's definitely definitely a great experience. And like you said, you know, there was some 1.0 characters that weren't level up all the way to 20, and I had fun playing with them in Takeover. They didn't feel too, you know, unskilled because of attacks and stuff. I felt like their attacks were still effective. It's just, you know, they weren't varied. They were pretty much similar. But other than that, no, it's just such a great game. I definitely love Toy Box Takeover. And like you said, every level is different, like you said. But go ahead.
I just, the one thing, it's like that camera angle where it's zoomed back. You can pan around. The camera's a lot better than it was on the 2.0 versions. You can pan it around. You can zoom. But it's still part of me that would just be like, you know, it would be great just to be able to flip that off and you just go back down into like normal view, because I almost feel like if you played it on normal view, it would be an entirely different game.
Oh yeah.
And you know, but yeah, the camera angle seems a lot more friendly. It's not quite so rigid. You can move it and swing it around, and yeah, I really enjoyed it. I wasn't really too sure at first, but just kind of playing through the stories and stuff, and you're unlocking things. The Hero Destroyer is something that kind of keep bringing you back in with random toy boxes just to go in and play. I will admit I haven't done the online version because of what happened to Abe. I was like,
don't do it.
Yeah, I was like, because this was the thing, because this was the original plan. Was this week was we would probably, the plan was to try and get us together to do some online play to kind of test out the multiplayer. We weren't doing it because of what happened to Abe's console, where he went online and it kind of reset all his figures, and I didn't want to do that until once the patch comes. That probably fixed. But yeah, I mean, we have kind of sort of said visibly on our group and stuff, yeah, maybe to avoid that temporarily while this glitch is going on. It probably won't happen to you, but we didn't want to happen twice. Just, but other than that, it's I'll let you add on that one.
I was going to say one thing that you talked about was the Hero Destroyer. I love the fact that there was parts where you were forced to defeat all the enemies using a weapon or be on a specific vehicle or mount.
Yeah.
And that was the only way you can actually beat that level if you remained on the mount and using this weapon, or just using a weapon in general, or just driving a vehicle. I mean, it just added variety and actually let you experience every tool and vehicle in the game, and it's always random. It's great. I love how, you know, there's so much variety in this time around.
Mean, I had one last night. I was playing in here, and I was on Gus the Mule with the kitten fists, and that was nice. That was, you know, and it's like, or you got the dome where you're in the car and you've got to basically just skid your way all the way through it, you know, like Wreck-It Ralph's vehicle. And like I said, it adds a nice bit of variety. I love the boss battles.
Yeah, the boss battles are awesome too.
Boss battles. I'm just trying to work out, because you've obviously got we've got the 3 Star Wars boss battles from the first one, but I've also had Davy Jones, Loki, Boba Fett. I'm trying to think who else I've had.
I've had Barboza. I've had Ronin. I've had Venom. I had Green Goblin.
So all the villains kind of category.
Yeah.
Yeah, I mean, I'm just looking at them going, they would have been so much cooler to have in that boss battle toy in the toy box.
Yeah, we were wondering why it was just limited to, was it just 2, right?
Yeah. So you got Grievous, Maul, and Vader.
Oh, so it's 3.
I mean, I don't know if they're going to be adding, because I know the Cybug, the King Candy Cybug, and the was it the big Marshmallow? They are going to be, I think, are they bosses or something you can unlock in Speedway?
Yeah, you can unlock them in Speedway. I don't know if they're bosses though. I thought they were just side pieces.
Yeah, I mean, that was the one thing I was looking at going, this would be quite cool to have this function, because it would really add a lot of variety to the toy boxes, because suddenly then it's not just Star Wars, but you could have a boss battle because specifically with toy box building, there's, you're going to have that boss battle is always going to be a good way of kind of ending a story. And I think if you had all those Marvel ones in there, or even the Davy Jones and stuff, that would be a really cool way of kind of doing that. It's funny because I feel like I've been saying that a lot with 3.0. It's just like, that's fantastic, but why not in the toy box? That's great, but why not in the? I seem to have done that a lot this year.
Yeah, there's just certain things you wish you can do in the toy box. I mean, obviously you're kind of limited to what you can do. I mean, there's a reason why the expansion games have developer heavy content in there, as opposed to the toy box game discs, which were honestly could be replicated in the toy box. So it's like it kind of makes sense that you can't use certain things in the toy box. But like you say, yeah, I'd love to be able to do something like that in the toy box. But
but that's cool.
Can't get it all.
I'm going to be honest. The sidekick side of things, once again, I don't get it. I don't get the
really.
I still don't get the appeal of sidekicks. I got this thing following me around all the time, bugging me. I don't get the appeal of, but at least the hats look different. In 2.0, all those hats, I just went, nah. I couldn't even. At least they look slightly different this year. I unlock a hat or a gun or something for the sidekicks. I really don't care. The sidekicks for me are a complete just waste of effort, because I'm not interested. I'm literally just not interested in sidekicks.
You don't use them to help you fight at all?
No, I don't need to. I don't. I just don't. I don't get it. I don't get the appeal of them. But there again, see, this is the same thing. The farming side of things still does. I still haven't got that. And this whole sidekick sort of part of the game, it's bad enough trying to level up your characters, let alone trying to level up 100 sidekicks. I mean, I've got literally, the only good thing is with the takeover is you keep getting all this food that you keep using. If you looked in my thing, I've got all this food racked up to feed them. I'm not sitting there feeding you all day, and I just don't get it. But then I'm like that with mobile games. I don't like leveling up characters just for the sake of leveling up characters. They have to do something for me. I have a leveled up character to level 20. Perfectly fine. I like the idea. I don't mind the idea of that, because I actually can see what I'm getting. But sidekicks are meaningless to me.
Well, next time you got to get through a wall, you shoot yourself through the cannon yourself, I guess. I don't know.
Yeah, but if you take, but other than that, but if you take away that from the toy box thing, the rest of the game you don't need them. I don't think there's no point at any other time do you need them.
No, you don't. But the only reason why I see the appeal for sidekicks and why, honestly, they're necessary in this game is, for the demographic that this game is aimed for. Because not all little kids are awesome at playing this game like you are, Roger. I mean, so you got some kids who need help fighting, and or some people who like to have, some people who are not only Batman fans, but they're Robin fans too. You know what I mean? Like they like the sidekick.
Well, I think one of the things is, like, I think when you're playing for Takeover, is because obviously if your guy gets defeated, just whip out another toy. So literally, if you've been having a battle and you've been being killed because it's difficult, in some ways it's like I've got a box full of like 70, 80 toys. You just keep bringing them out. Obviously, if you're on a budget, that's not such a great thing, and the sidekick could be useful. But I've got a stack full of toys, all full of energy, ready to fight, easy to go like that. So I don't need a sidekick. I just bring in another hero, bring in somebody else.
Oh yeah, but like you said, not everybody has all the figures. So.
No. But I think, now with free games in, a lot of people are going to have lots of figures from 2.0, 1.0, so they're all usable in this game, and I think that's always a great thing about it.
Yeah, to be able to reuse your figures, and not to mention to be able to use any figure immediately in a game. That's like you said. Well, like we mentioned earlier, that's something that a lot of people have been wanting, like an awesome crossover play. And it's cool. It's fun.
Yeah, I think the concept of structured play, but with kind of the use of all these characters and stuff, adds a lot of value to older characters. It brings them back in. You know, I've still been using Marvel characters because I've been able to use the like Takeover. You know, they still feel as fresh as they did before.
And one thing about Takeover that we didn't really talk about too much is like I do like the tie-in with a little story. You know, you just have them with Merlin and well, I mean, all the originals talking at first with about a wand, and then you know, Syndrome comes and takes it, and then Merlin comes, and then Syndrome takes that one too, and it's like, you know, it's a nice little story to it. I do enjoy something like that where it gives you that feel of, you know, it's necessary for everybody to team up together and actually overcome this feat and to accomplish the goal. And you know, like we've been saying, it's cool that you can use, if you don't care to use your new Star Wars figures and you want to use like Marvel, boom, you can do that. Or if you want to use your Disney characters, boom, you can just do that immediately. So it's cool.
Yeah.
I'm very, very happy with Takeover. It was definitely a great experience.
Because that's the thing. Because I mean, I feel like this year you could have, if you really were on a budget, you could have gone out and done the digital download, or maybe just brought the starter pack. Either way, and got hold of the buy Takeover. And you can use all your 2.0 and all your 1.0 characters. You don't even have to go out and buy a single 3.0 character for this game. So therefore, go for, if you're on a budget or you don't want to buy all the Star Wars characters, you can enjoy this game. And I was sort of playing it, and it was this thing of, hasn't really been pushed because obviously Disney don't really want to do that. But you don't have to have everything, because you can, if you've got lots of stuff from before, you can just enjoy it. I mean, we've been saying this since the Infinity launch. If you play 2.0 and you liked it, get the digital version, upgrade to 3.0 to have all these new options and toys. You don't have to go and buy all the play sets, all the figures and stuff, because there's so much more you can enjoy just from the gameplay wise.
No, yeah, it's definitely it's user friendly, and it's also money friendly because you don't have to spend extra money. You just use that and use what you already have. And like I said, great experience.
It's that kind of thing, isn't it, of having a story that is completely taken away from the realm of reality and mixing everything up, and it just feels like this is somewhere that I think Disney should really kind of, everybody wants play sets, but if they keep doing stuff like this could be the new playset experience. And I think this is interesting. I'm really kind of, we saw it last year, and I said I wanted more of them. This year we've only got 2, and I even sitting back going, we need more of this. This is what we need. Structure the gameplay.
You know what? I also thought it was clever that they used a 1.0 character as like the main villain for this story. So it's kind of cool. Like they're trying to kind of like tie everything together, even though, you know, those characters are from 1.0. So no, yeah, it's definitely cool. I don't think playsets are going anywhere. No. I don't think they will, but definitely more expansion games. That sounds awesome.
It's like it said, you know, like you're saying that, you know, the packaging has got Syndrome, Venom, and Darth Vader on it. It's got all the 1.0, the 2.0, the 3.0 characters. It feels like, I think it's a good thing from Disney, because it feels like with 3.0, everything you've had before seems to, you know, come forward with it. It is 1.0 and 2.0. This is the thing, is it's all still one big game, and all those characters and unlockables from the previous games are all still there. You know, it's like, you know, I know some people have said, you know, like when you get back into the toy box, it still feels like the game you've been playing for the last few years, because they're adding to it, but it's still the same game. And Toy Box Takeover has that feeling of, it feels like a combination of everything together.
Yeah, definitely.
No, it's interesting. It's but like I said, I love the fact you got the different levels and the different zones, and that hero generator is something that's going to keep coming back, and also online play eventually. That's going to really kind of, you know, in 6 months' time, you're still going to be able to come back in here and have fun.
Yeah, and for those who do like sidekicks, Heroes Destroyer has, I think, 25 unlockable sidekicks too. So you can just keep coming back for those.
Yeah, because the last 2 nights I've been in that Hero Destroyer, just literally just bashing enemies away, and just because I have noticed I'm unlocking a lot of sidekicks in there. That seems to be one area that you really do seem to notice that you can unlock quite a bit. Quite a lot of toys you can unlock in that toy box. I think like value wise, because what's it in the US? $20. I think it's about £12 here. I think it's kind of interesting the way they've packaged it this year. What do you think?
No, yeah, I think so too. But I have noticed that all the packaging for the the expansion games, the figures, and the power discs, they're all very cohesive. They're all the same shape, they're all the same size. So it's kind of interesting.
Well, I suppose it makes a lot of sense from the retailer's point of view. You can set your size up, and then you can put in whatever you need to, and everything fits, and you're not having to move all the jars and move the poles around to try and fit something in, because it's not quite the same. All those different, like, remember all the triple packs and the powered. It's like, at least now it's going to be a lot easier for retailers. But it's like the packaging for it. I mean, it's just a big box. It seems a big waste of space. But I'm gonna throw something in that, because you kind of feel like like get the playset pack where you get you get the 2 figures and the playset thing. You almost feel like this would have been a great way of packaging like 2 toy box only characters as in it. Or even a way of maybe doing a remolded new version of Syndrome, like a 3.0 version of Syndrome or something like that. Because that packaging just looks like it's missing something. It doesn't quite jump out at you, because I think the playset packs we're so used to getting with the figures and stuff, it just looks like you're getting more value. I think when people look at the takeover and see it as $20 and all you're getting is that piece, it's difficult, because it's a bit like, what if they were selling play sets like that? Would that be better? I think financially it wouldn't be.
I don't know. I mean, I'm looking at the game as far as value and what it offers. I think it's worth the price point. I mean, Speedway, I think it's going to be worth more than $20 in my eyes. But I think, I don't know. I think it's fine. I think the price point's fine. I don't know.
No, it's like, because I do think like $20, because I think again, Takeover was always overshadowed. It was one of those things of, it was thrown in as a pre-order bonus, and I think everyone just kind of took it for granted. I think there was a lot of people that didn't pre-order, and then when they couldn't get it, were like, well, they were expecting it to be in stores, maybe because they hadn't pre-ordered and they weren't too sure of it yet. But yeah, no, I still don't know. I still think, because over here in the UK it's about £12, just slightly about the same price as a figure, but you're getting your value's worth out of that money. I mean, I must have spent, I'm just trying to think, easily, what was it? I must have spent at least 4-5 nights. I must have spent a good 8 to 10 hours just literally just playing through the main story bit, and I only did that on easy on the main story part. And then in the Hero Destroyer, I've spent 3 hours on medium, kind of just literally just blasting through stuff. And I feel like I'm going to go back through that and do it on medium. I'm going to go back and do it probably on hard as well, because of you can do that. But I love the fact that at the beginning of when you go in, it's got that replay. You walk straight in, see the level, and it says, do you want to play on easy, medium, hard, or expert? No kind of set it up once and be gone. You can jump in, jump out. It's very easy to jump in and out of this.
No, yeah, I actually went in and just played the regular medium throughout the whole thing, and then I went back and played on extreme, and it's fun. I mean, it adds another, it adds more replay, and then obviously the Hero Destroyer, I wanted to unlock every sidekick, so I played it over 25 times already. I know there's feats where you play with multiplayer. Obviously, eventually I'll get to that. But no, it's definitely a lot of replay value. Like I said, I'm still unlocking different hats and weapons and toys, and so there's plenty to do still in Toy Box Takeover. So it's definitely, I give it a thumbs up. So
yes. Oh, I'm going to be honest. If you haven't got it, and when it comes out, pick it up, because it's a great value. There's lots of toys to unlock for the toy box. you are going to get your money's worth of terms of enjoyment, because in some ways, you can pick up a DVD, it's 12 quid, 15 quid, and you're only going to get 2 hours out of it. But you are definitely going to get your value in terms of hours out of this toy, and that doesn't include online multiplayer game. Because once you get into that, you're going to be able to suck hours away continuously with that.
Well, definitely when Speedway comes out, yeah, it's going to be a huge time cruncher.
Yeah, I mean, but this is again the great thing, because it almost feels like this game, this like Toy Box Takeover, I almost feel like it should have come out. It should have come out in January or February. It feels like
separately.
I feel like it. In all honesty, I think they should have not given. I think giving it away as the pre-order was fine, but I'd have loved to have seen this come out in later in the year as that sort of spread out of content, because I feel like a lot of people got it. They played it and then they jumped back into play sets, and maybe now they're starting to delve into it a little bit because they've got it. But yeah, no, it's just this thing of once again, it felt like it was undersold.
Yeah, I don't know. Yeah, I mean, I honestly don't think it was talked about as much, but it's definitely worth it. So I don't know. We'll see.
Yeah, I mean, I would, without a shadow of a doubt, I think if you, when you see it on the shelf, pick it up. It's definitely worth checking out. It's not a playset; it's slightly different, but you are getting a lot of entertainment out of it. It's a lot of, I mean, it's very much kind of do they call it like a Diablo kind of thing, where because of the angle that you're just defeating enemies and stuff. But I think it's a really cool
dungeon crawler, and I almost categorize it as a playset, but there's no cutscenes.
Yeah, well, I don't know. It's just random. I love the fact that also like the Hero Destroyer this year is kind of you jump in, you do your main level, you then do that kind of weird level where you've got to do something with a vehicle or a special hat, and then you get is it then a third level of enemies to defeat, and then you get the final boss.
No, the third level is the final boss.
The third level is the boss. So then you come out, and then you got to go back in and do it again, and it's all completely randomly generated. I think it seems to work better than that survival mode that we saw last year, which was just a drudge.
I don't know. I'm on the opposite on that. I love the survival mode. We used to play hours multiplayer. So it depends. It depends on the type of player you are.
Yeah, I think for me I think it's good in some ways that you kind of do it, you finish it, you come out, you go back in, and it's completely randomly generated again. But yeah, I think it's going to be a good online experience for a long time to come. I think in 6 months, a year's time, or no, maybe not in a year's time, but next summer, people will still be doing that. Whereas playsets, I don't know if they'll be jumping back into the same way.
Well, that's if they make them forward compatible or backwards compatible. I mean, I guess we'll tell.
Yeah, I always feel like that with these kind of things. They should. It's like we said before, if they were able to get those Toy Box expansion games, you feel like you really want to be able to pop them down in the new game and just like maybe it's like one cutscene. It can't be that big.
Yeah, who knows?
But it's all down to space. So at least be able to like digitally download that part of it and be able to replay it, because, like you said, it's all Toy Box. It's nearly most of this can be done within the Toy Box, and therefore it cannot take as much space up as a playset.
Yeah, no, that's definitely true. That's I mean, I guess every year things change, so who knows.
Who knows in the future? But no, I think in general, I think sort of Toy Box Takeover, I definitely give it a 2 thumbs up easily. It's a great experience. And I think it was, like I said, I think maybe because expectations were a lot lower for it, I feel like I enjoyed it more. I don't know if I enjoyed it more, but because of that, but I wasn't expecting a lot from it.
Yeah, no, Toy Box Takeover was definitely underrated, but it's definitely awesome. 2 thumbs up, way up. So yeah.
No, I really enjoyed it, and like I said, I think there's a lot of gameplay value there for it. Anything else you got to add on Toy Box Takeover?
No, just go pick it up if you don't have it, and once the patch comes out, let's play multiplayer.
Well, that's my plan.
Yeah.
So on next week's show, we are going to be going through in depth over the Rise of the Empire playset. So I will be getting back into that one and trying to complete all those different things, and we'll be doing that in a bit depth. We decided this is the thing, we've gone through the Twilight of the Republic 2 weeks ago. We went Inside Out last week, so we thought we'd just spend a little bit of time on each item in this thing, because it's a bit of a funny thing of now the game's out and it's been out for a few weeks. You know, people are kind of settled into the game, but we still got so much more still to be announced. But it's quite nice in some way that, you know, all the news is just kind of settled down, and we can all just get on and just play with what we've got and take it all in and enjoy. But there's still, you know, we still know we've got continuous waves coming. You know, it feels like this year, you know, we still got lots to come out in 2015.
Yeah, definitely. There's plenty to come. So be prepared, people. Be prepared.
It just, like I said, I think like this time, you know, you think last year, you know, we had those Toy Box expansion games come out, and then we had a few more figures, and that was it. And it's nice knowing we've got everything. We've still got stuff to play, still stuff to keep bringing us back into the game, which I think is a good idea in the long run, especially with all this competition around.
Yeah, definitely.
I mean, right. I think, you know, there's a lot of Infinity players that this week will be jumping to somewhere else, and then next week they're going to be jumping somewhere else. I mean, there's a lot of Infinity fans that don't, but I think for people that are big fans of these kind of family games, there's, you know, it's probably been a great thing for Disney Infinity to have that month's head start to kind of let people get into it.
Yeah, definitely. Yeah, I mean, there's a lot of good games out there, so just be prepared to be jumping back and forth. Yes.
So that seems to be the only game that seems to be going back and forth at mine is Frozen Freefall. As I keep coming, my wife keeps playing on it. I'm going, this is one step away from Infinity.
Yeah.
So I think that's pretty much going to wrap up the Toy Box Takeover side of things for this week's show. Be sure to hit that subscribe button. Remember to check us out at DisKingdom.com. Big shout out to our Patreons, Ethan at Magic Band Collector, and also sorterapps.com. And also a big shout out to James, the Infinity Museum. And yep, as per usual, you can comment below. Let us know your thoughts on Takeover. We'd love to know your ideas on it. And yep, I think that's pretty much. Anything else you want to add to that one?
No, just be prepared for Rise next week.
Yes.
Yeah, it'll be cool.
Yeah, it's kind of quite funny there, isn't it? I think with Rise, because we all, you know, if you got the Saga bundle, you got it like early, or if you went to some kind of event, you got it in your case. But you know, the vast majority of people will be getting Rise in next week, and that again is great for a lot of people to have a brand new playset like a month after launch. So it'll be going to be, I think that again was a good move, and I actually still stand by it. In some ways, if that Saga bundle hadn't come out, I would be really kind of quite happy about the fact that having a new playset next week. I think that would be for us. We had that all at launch. The idea of having it a month later sounds like a great idea.
No, yeah, definitely. No, I'm good. I mean, all I'm missing is Boba, but no big deal.
Yes. Yeah, easily the best figure in 3.0, but there we go.
Just because he flies?
Just because he flies for Toy Box building. Otherwise, I have to keep bringing Iron Man in.
Yeah, I think the best figure in 3.0. Oh, man, it's tough.
We'll save that one for another show.
I really love Ahsoka. I can't really treat her. But anyways, all right. No. That's it, guys. Thanks for watching.
See you guys in another episode. See you later, guys.
Adios.